So just to be clear, I don't actually think that you think owning a trash business is glamorous. But just to show you some of the stuff that goes into it. Monday we had a ton of rain at the landfill and it's just all clay. I was able to wash 90% of it out, but there's a ton of it because we got stuck. And Kendall got us out beautifully. But there's a lot of it that's just wedged in the wheel wells. You can see how it's just baked on there. It's not coming off easy. So it's a Sunday afternoon. It's 101 feels like, and there's a lot of other things I'd rather be doing on the Sunday afternoon, but I would assume it's not great for the balancing. So even though I don't want to, I gotta dig this out. This morning I was poking at it with a wooden stick. You can see some of what it breaks into. It's just clay. Invariably, if I post about something difficult that I'm doing, this happened in lawn care a lot, somebody would say, yeah, that's what you signed up for. So don't think I'm making this as a complaining post, but it's more of just, I never thought I'd have to be doing this. And maybe you didn't either, so could there be some entertainment value in this? I don't know. I really probably should just pop the wheels off, but I am paranoid about doing that for the first time. I'm sure I'm gonna mess something up. Hi, this is Brad from the future. Just to let you know, I am alive, I didn't die. And if you'd like $10,000 for your home service business, Jobber's giving away 15 grants for $10,000 a piece. It's their annual grant program that they run every year. $150,000 in grants to 15 home service business. $10,000 to do whatever you want with. $10,000 you could use to just pay somebody to clean your tires, and then you wouldn't have to do it yourself. Might be worth it when you see this video. All the info on the grants are down in the description below. See, this is why I'm doing this. I don't know if these would fly off while we're going down the road, but the brake system is right here, and I don't want to risk, this truck is a pretty significant investment. And as much as I hate being down here, I'd hate it a lot more if I didn't do this and mess something up. So yeah, I have zero desire to do this. But when I get those tires off, you'll see why I need to. And I am thankful that I've invested in, everything that I need to do tire swaps the right way. I've got the lift, I've got the jack stands, I've got the torque wrench. So I've got all the tools. Whether or not I don't mess anything up is just going to be on me. Makita was very kind to me and sent me a 3/4 inch impact wrench. Drivers are the little things. This guy right here. This will be the first time it's being used. Got a 41 millimeter socket for those outside lugs. I don't know if I'll have to take the inner tire off, but if I do, this is the tool that I'll have to use, a 21 millimeter square. The other thing about that Isuzu, half of those threads are reverse thread, so hopefully I don't mess that up. Got a 22-ton floor jack, which should be more than enough for little Isuzu. I don't honestly know the best place to lift this up. I think just anywhere on the frame.
He chose poorly.
Could be famous last words. These are 22-ton stands from Harbor Freight. So I think these should be fairly good for the weight we're gonna put in them. I don't really see any great places to do this, so we're just gonna go for it. Now, those of you with experience will probably know where this mishap is going, but looking back now, I can see a couple of key root things that caused all this issue. One of them is my inexperience with dual rear wheel setups. I've never had any vehicles with dual rear wheels. I've never done work on anything like that. So the physics and the concepts that I'm used to are all single wheels. And so I don't have any exposure to the thinking needed for dual wheels. The second root cause for the issue that we're going to run into is the fact that I halfway parked on these rubber stall mats. So you see them in the driveway. What in the world are they there for? Those are something that I used to park the mowers on in the garage. When I got rid of Copper Creek cuts, I didn't want to throw them away, and what I found they were useful for was backing the garbage truck onto them so that you could alter where level was on the garbage truck, and then that way rainwater wouldn't collect inside of the body, it would run out. Now the smartest thing to do would have been to cut those giant mats into little 12 by 12 squares so that I could easily move them around so that I could have a lot of them, but I never ended up doing that. I just left the mats as the whatever they are, 4 by 6 or 3 by 6, and they're very heavy. So that's why I didn't think about moving them. I was just like, oh, they're heavy, they're gonna stay there. And the last time I parked the truck, it just so happened that one of the wheels on the back right was on top of the mats and the other one wasn't. If those mats weren't there, I never would have ran into this upcoming issue. So, since what you're gonna see is fairly unsafe, one of the things that I've taken to is creating a job form in Jobber. Jobber is the software that we use to run our business. It does everything from scheduling to billing to communicating with customers and tracking those conversations. One of the things it also does is let you create custom job forms for specific jobs. Now this one that I've made for garbage truck tire maintenance, I can refer back to at any point in the future when I do more work on the truck. So right off the bat, before I do my work, I can say, hey, do I have all the right PPE, the safety glasses, the hearing and ear protection? I can make sure all the tools that I have are present and accounted for. And most importantly, I can go through this work site prep so I don't forget the garbage truck has to be on flat level ground. Make sure that there isn't anything underneath the tires, and when you're lifting the rear tires, lift under a suspension point, not on the frame. And the nice thing is when you have a job inside of Jobber that you have to do, when I go to that form, I have all these different things here that I can very easily check and make sure I'm doing each one of those. And I can say, yep, I made sure we're clear of debris, I made sure we've got clearance, I'm gonna save that. So this will be a good reminder for myself moving forward so I don't forget the lessons that I have learned of how to do things better. We're on the right side of the truck. These studs have R's on them. The nuts have R's on them. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but there's an R right there. So these ones are like normal. Righty-tighty. You can see going on. Lefty-loosey. The issue is on the opposite side of the truck, where you have an L and an L. And there, if you righty-tighty, it'll come off. I guess the issue with what you would be doing is if you're lefty-loosing, trying to get it off, you're actually tightening it. So that's the left side, which is the opposite. This thing's pulling them off so easy. I don't know why I'm yelling, sorry. I doubled up on hearing protection, so I think you can't hear me because I can't hear anything. Oh, that was so easy. So see, all this stuff I never would have been able to get. All that stuff up in there. Yeah. This is pretty caked on. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is this is working. The bad news is I will definitely have to take this off. Oh well. This is another little gizmo Makita sent me. It is pretty handy to have. It's just a little blower. It comes with a couple different nozzles. But for this kind of cleanup, it's a lot better than having to use my leaf blower. So now for this one, this is what I have to take off. So that's what the 21 millimeter guy is for. And he connects to the wheel stud. This is what's on the hub. And the inner wheel is smushed up against this, and this is holding that inner wheel on. So again, this is a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey one. So I need to spin these to the left to come off. Okay, so I've made my first mistake, which was not realizing that the suspension is going to be pushing down. I lifted up from the frame, which means the suspension is still pushing down. So I should have lifted it up from not the frame. So I'm going to cry to myself for just a minute and a half or so and have a drink of water, and then I'm going to figure out how to fix this. We might be okay. There was a little grease looking stuff here. I can't tell if that's supposed to be there or not. This is what it was from the inside. Looks like it might have been there a while. I don't think that's something I did, but we'll see. Something to keep an eye on. I think I am glad I did this, because you can see how this stuff is all on the brake disc and would have got all caught up there. So obviously I don't know what I'm doing. That goes without saying, but if you can give me some info, folks who have done this for a while, if you get stuck like that, is this just the regular maintenance? You got to take all the wheels off and blow everything out, you know, clean it all up? Is there something I missed, some way to stop this? Of course, I see this on the inner tire. I know what I should do, but what I don't have are patching tools and tire removal tools to get the tire off the rim. I don't have that yet. I also don't have an inflation cage, which is something I want to... Those are all things that are coming. I know for a fact this tire is holding air. I'm not messing with it right now. Whatever that is looks large, and I don't want to pull it, cause a leak. If it's a self-sealing screw right now or a piece of metal, I'm fine with that. Now I know it exists, and as soon as I get all the proper tools, I'll deal with it. But you saw how this went. Even with the right tools, when you've got an idiot, I guess that's a testament to having the right tools. It can make the difference between killing yourself or not. because you've got the proper rated jack, you've got the proper rated jack stand, you've got some spares. My confidence is not where I need it to be today for that. It's holding there. Let's just deal with it later. Okay, I'm mainly talking this out for my benefit, but I've got 4x4s under this jack stand, which is only a fraction of an inch under the frame, which means when I lower this jack, this should support the frame pretty much where it is, which will let me lower this all the way and then come back and do what I was supposed to do, which was raise up from underneath the whatever that piece is that I should have been pushing up on. When I lower this down, the jack stand is going to support it right there. It's not in the way of anything when it comes down. Nothing's going to bind. There's no tanks or hoses or cords that are going to get caught. It should stop moving relatively quickly, and then I can take this and put a lower profile thing on it, because that red jack I had was not powerful enough to lift this up all the way. I'm hoping this will be. That sounds good to me. If this video never gets uploaded, you'll know something went terribly wrong. Or rather, you won't know. I'm trying to turn this. I think it worked. Okay, I think it worked. I don't want to claim victory too soon or talk too loud. Okay, I think we've got it, but we're gonna find out real soon. I've learned several things. There shouldn't be anything under this because that mat has messed me up in several ways. So that's the lowest torque setting on the Milwaukee. I'm gonna go look up. I think it's 432 pounds of torque. I might be making that up. 362. We've got our SUNEX torque wrench to 362. We're just about that. I think those are all torqued. I'm gonna go over all 6 of them again I might have missed one. This is not dissimilar to a lot of the things I get into through my life. I have a, I don't know if it's a positive trait, but I will, with less knowledge than I should have, wade into a project. And, you know, I guess it's just like if I break something, I'll just learn and fix it. And that has led to a lot of good learning experiences, but man, if it's not frightening along the way. All right, that's the lowest torque setting on that bad boy. Which, I will say, Makita, thanks guys. This is the one part of the project that didn't suck, was getting the lug nuts off. All 6 tires are back on the ground. The jack is free. I don't think I've got it in me to go another round with this thing today, at least. So tomorrow's Monday. We're just going to run the left side full of crud and see what it does. Yeah, good learning experience. I feel pretty stupid, but that is par for the course for this channel. That's one of the things I hope to do, is to show the mistakes that I make so that you can learn from them. And if you ever do the kind of stuff I do, you can do it better or right. I'm just gonna pick at that with a screwdriver the best I can without taking it out. I'm not gonna film that. So those are some of the shenanigans that we get into on the channel. If you'd like to follow along, I'd love to have you for the ride. The sun has got my brain a bit half-baked, so I don't really have a great outro for this. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.